Of course! Let's expand upon the cinematic masterpiece, Patton, delving deeper into its themes, character construction, cinematic techniques, and enduring legacy. Patton, an expanded look at the anatomy of a warrior. The 1970 film, Patton, is far more than a standard biographical war picture. It is a grand, operatic, and deeply psychological epic that uses the canvas of World War II to paint an intimate portrait of a titanic and deeply flawed man. It explores the paradox of how the very qualities that make a man a superlative warrior, unrelenting aggression, supreme self-confidence, and a singular focus on destruction, can make him utterly unfit for the peace that follows. The iconic opening, a declaration of intent. The film's legendary opening is a masterclass in character introduction. Before a single scene of battle, George S. Scott as Patton strides onto a stage before an immense American flag that fills the entire screen. Breaking the fourth wall, he addresses the audience as if they were his raw recruits. This speech, a sanitized compilation of Patton's actual addresses, is a tour de force. It's profane, patriotic, brutal, and surprisingly philosophical. No bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor, dumb bastard die for his country. This line immediately establishes his pragmatic, unsentimental view of war. Americans traditionally love to fight. All real Americans love the sting of battle. He romanticizes conflict, painting it as an essential part of the American spirit. We're going to hold on to him by the nose, and we're going to kick him in the ass. His language is crude and visceral, designed to connect with the common soldier. This scene does more than introduce a character. It sets the stage for the entire film. We are immediately confronted with his larger-than-life persona, and forced to reckon with the uncomfortable truth that men like this are necessary to win wars. The man of violent contradictions, the genius of the film and of Scott's performance, lies in its refusal to present a one-dimensional hero. Patton is a man of profound and jarring contradictions. The poet-warrior, he writes sentimental poetry and is a devout student of classical history and the Bible. He genuinely believes in reincarnation, confiding that he has fought in past lives. In one scene, he visits the site of an ancient battle at Carthage and feels the ghosts of past warriors. Yet he is also a master of modern, mechanized warfare. The pious blasphemer, Patton is deeply religious and prays earnestly in churches before battle. Yet his everyday speech is famously peppered with some of the most creative profanity ever put on screen. He prays for divine assistance in battle with the same fervor he uses to curse a subordinate, the disciplinarian and the prima donna. He ruthlessly enforces discipline, famously fining soldiers for not wearing their leggings correctly. Yet, he himself is a flamboyant showman, sporting ivory-handled pistols, and cultivating a public image of rebellious audacity. His ego is as vast as the battlefields he commands. Cinematic craft, forging a legend. Director Franklin J. Schaffner uses the tools of epic cinema to amplify Patton's character. Cinematography. The film was shot in 70mm dimension 150, giving it an incredible sense of scale. Schaffner often places Patton as a solitary figure against vast, sweeping landscapes. The deserts of North Africa, the rolling hills of Sicily, the snow-covered forests of the Ardennes. This visual language emphasizes his isolation and his monumental, almost mythical stature. The score. Jerry Goldsmith's Oscar-nominated score is iconic. It is defined by a haunting, echoing trumpet fanfare that acts as Patton's personal theme. This trumpet call is treated with reverb, suggesting it's a sound from history itself. A call from the past, warriors. Patton believes himself to be descended from. This mystical theme contrasts sharply with the rousing, traditional military marches that accompany the action sequences. The foil, General Omar Bradley. Karl Malden's portrayal of General Omar Bradley is crucial. Bradley, who served as a consultant on the film, is presented as the soldier's general, calm, diplomatic, and pragmatic. He acts as both the narrator and the moral counterpoint to Patton. Their relationship highlights the central conflict. Bradley represents the kind of steady, reliable leadership the modern army requires, while Patton is the untamable force of nature it needs in moments of crisis. Their arguments reveal the deep divisions in Allied command philosophy. All glory is fleeting. The tragic hero's end. The film's final act is a poignant study in obsolescence. After the victory in Europe, Patton is a man without a war. His aggressive nature, once a vital asset, becomes a dangerous liability. He makes ill-advised public statements, comparing Nazi Party members to American Democrats and Republicans, which leads to his removal from command of his beloved Third Army. The final scene sees him walking his bull terrier Willie in the quiet German countryside. A farmer's cart rattles by, and Patton's voiceover delivers the film's closing and most profound message. He reflects on the tradition of the Roman triumph, where a slave would stand behind the victorious general, whispering in his ear, "Memento mori," or, in the film's eloquent phrasing, a warning that all glory is fleeting. This ending solidifies the film's portrayal of Patton not as a hero or a villain, but as a tragic figure in the classical sense. He was a man perfectly suited for a specific, violent moment in history, and when that moment passed, so did his purpose and his glory, legacy and impact. Patton won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and it redefined the war film genre. It moved beyond simple patriotism to offer a nuanced, critical examination of military leadership. George C. Scott's performance is inseparable from the film's identity. He didn't just play Patton, he inhabited him. His famous refusal of the Oscar for Best Actor, citing his opposition to acting competitions, only added to the mystique of both the actor and the role he so brilliantly portrayed. The film has profoundly shaped the public's perception of General Patton, cementing his image as the brilliant, profane, and unforgettable warrior who helped win the war, but could not win the peace.
Text prompting viewers to comment and subscribe. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more updates on this developing story.